friends, welcome back to my channel, and in keeping with the Inktober theme, we'll be using inks and pens in today's Paint With Me session. Let's see how that goes. Of course, before I get started, I do have to do my disclaimers. First up, if you're hearing motor vehicles in the background, that's because I do live near a major highway here in the country of Belize. I also live outside of a major city, and where I live there's a lot of wild birds, so you will hear them from time to time calling, chirping, crying in my background. And thirdly, I have dogs, and right now I'm hoping they're quiet. I hope they stay asleep, but if anyone comes, you will hear them start barking. So now let's get back to our regular scheduled program. So today we'll be using my handmade glass pen by M.X Made, and this was actually this is a pen that I ordered from AliExpress. Now I've had this for quite some months, and I actually got it when glass pens were all the rage, but I've never ever used it really on camera. I think I've only tested once in a previous video, early video, when I was still trying out production value in my artwork. So today we'll be using it on camera, and we'll be using it as our main liner. Like I said, I've got it for quite some time, and this is how it looks according to the printout. It is handmade. Let's hope it focused on it. Yeah, look at that. Has a beautiful point. Almost, I think it's almost like a 0.5 point. I've always been very careful with it. It actually came with this rubber band, and it's a very old, crusty looking rubber band now, because I've had it for quite some time now. Probably over a year I've had this pen. And so we'll be using my glass pen. We'll also be using the Bombay India ink. I do have a bottle of black India ink here, and again, I've had this for some time, like almost a year I will say. I just haven't used it. And I'll be using my art bag to get out my pencils that I need, my erasers, my kneadable erasers. I like my art bag. So I don't necessarily use pencils need to sharpen, so got this out, got my kneadable eraser out, and my normal eraser, and one more eraser. I usually use 3 erasers. It's right there because I see it. Yeah, there it is. So pull that out of my art bag, and now let's get started with today's illustration. Okay, so I'll be using my little bowl here to put the ink in, and this was when I first got into art. Like, well, it wasn't when I first got into art, it was like from 2017. I've had this little dish here. It's actually sold here in my country, and it's from the makers of Milan. You notice I use their products a lot, and what I like about it is that it's a little palette bowl, I guess, and it has little ridges on the edges so you can put your brush down. Yeah, so I'll be putting some inks in this, and I have not used this ink, and amazingly it is still very liquidy. So let me shake it up real good first, because I will need to make sure. Let me put a drop in here. Should have put in something else. You know what, I should have dipped. I think I could dip this directly in here. Yeah, I think I could do that. Let's just try that. Okay, yeah, I could do that. I don't have to put it in there. Don't worry, we can find use for that. And I'll just want to first demonstrate the line variations I could get with this glass dip pen. So I'm using my scrap watercolor paper here, and I'm just gonna show you guys the line variation you can get, how thin you can get the lines. Okay, I might need to dip again. Now this is India ink as the Bombay India ink. Okay, now it's flowing the way it's supposed to. Yeah. You know, it dries waterproof. Yeah, it gives us a quite a, okay, it's working. Maybe I just put a little bit of ink on there, but it's working now, see? Lasts quite a while before we can, before I need to redip. So it's working now. Good. I have a little thing here I could easily brush my pen in. And I do have a piece of cloth here that I could dry it in, so that's pretty good. Okay. So now I'm ready to go. Let's rock and roll. Okay, as you can see, I'm all lined up. I'm also erased it lightly so I could start adding my inks. And as usual, I'll be using my little, well, not as usual, actually, I will be using today, in keeping with the theme of Inktober, I will be lining with my Bombay India ink. And it's a paint with me session, and I didn't introduce the paints. And no, it is not the Bombay India inks or the paints. The paints are actually these aqua inks from Malibu Graphix. And I've had these in a previous Palette pack box. And what I did with these inks, believe it or not, I poured some out in these little palettes here and allowed it to dry. And so I'll be re-wetting these, and these are what I'll be painting with. So my inks are actually all set up. All I need is to grab a pipette, grab some water, and dip it back in here so I could re-wet my inks. So my inks should be all good now, because that's what I did with them. I wanted to see how it goes, and it goes wonderfully. So now that my inks are all re-wet, now let's line this baby up. Okay, I'm all inked out. As you can see, the Bombay indents did stay in my little bowl here, but it's okay because I rarely use it, so a little stain is okay. My brush is my pen actually is has a little splotch here, but I'm actually just scraping it off with my nail, so that's okay. And it's pretty clean. Got it all cleaned up. How I did that was I used an old toothbrush and I poured water over it, and then I just scrubbed it until all the little grooves and the crevices were all cleaned up. So for the most part, it is very clean. I'm just gonna package it up back again because I really don't want it to fall and break the tip. And we're all done, and now I'm hoping that my inks are ready. As you can see, they're all liquefied now. So now it's time to paint these babies. I'm using two brushes. I'm using both are squirrel hair. This is from Rosa Gallery. It's a squirrel hair number 4 brush, and I'm also using this number 10 brush, and this one is from Art Secret. This one came in my Tour of France watercolor set, and this one I ordered from AliExpress of the same name, Art Secret Official. So let's get started, and let's start paint this. The ink is all dried up, so that's all good, and now let's start paint this little kitty. Okay, I'm all finished, and yeah, as you can see, for the most part I kept it pretty simple. Actually, these were the only colors that I used for the most part. I did use some of its vermilion and the brown that came with it. I don't remember exactly the name of it, but I did use that also for this bottom piece here. And how I got this gray shade is that I used all 3 colors with a little bit of vermilion, and it produced this beautiful warm, is it a warm gray? It looks more like a cool gray. This very, very cool gray effect here on the cat. And yeah, I love the spread. It makes it look like it's all crazy in the background, and then the flooring that the cat is on, and the cat himself is very, very pale, so the cat actually does stand out from the craziness of it because the bottom is dark and up here is very, very, has a lot of craziness going on, so the cat does stand out in this piece. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this, it's on this paint with me session. Thank you so much. I am so blessed that I have over 100 subscribers. I think at last count it was at 140. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm overjoyed. Honestly, I am overjoyed. Every time I check my subscriber listing, and I was like, oh my gosh. And even if one person unsubscribed, you know, I feel a little disappointed, like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, I lose the subscriber. But for those who have remained with me throughout this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.